After drinking from her lips. The night was softly raining over the balconies of Amman, and faint music drifted out of a small cafe on the corner. I was sitting there, watching the reflection of streetlights on the glass, trying to forget something I could no longer even remember. Until she walked in. She wasn't an ordinary woman. She was like a summer breeze touching a heart exhausted by winter. Her black hair flowed over her shoulders like a river of night, and in her eyes lived both a promise unspoken and a sorrow unexplained. She sat in front of me without saying a word. But with her eyes, she said everything. The first meeting. She smiled shyly and asked, "Is this seat taken?" I replied, "Since you came in, it hasn't been empty anymore." She laughed softly, then ordered a cup of Turkish coffee. She drank it slowly, as if she were reading a new prophecy in every sip. Then she suddenly asked, "Do you believe in love at first sight?" I tried to hide my nervousness and said, "I believe that some eyes never need a second chance." Silence fell between us, beautiful, weightless silence. Then she looked toward the rain outside the window and whispered, "I love the rain, it washes away pain. But it never erases memories." I didn't ask what pain she was talking about. I already knew. Every beautiful woman hides a story behind her smile. Days passed. We began meeting every evening in that same cafe. We talked about books, music, life, and about things most people are too afraid to speak of. She was different, like a dream that somehow became real. Sometimes she would laugh suddenly, then fall silent, as if she feared her secret might escape her lips. One night she said softly, "I don't believe in promises, only in the moment we live now." I told her, "Then let's live this moment until the last breath." She smiled, placing her hand on mine. "Be careful," she said. Some moments last forever. The confession. One quiet night, when the rain had stopped and the street was asleep. She looked at me, her eyes glowing like candlelight, and asked, "Have you ever loved a woman so deeply that it scared you?" I answered, "I've loved you until I've forgotten myself." She moved closer until I could feel her breath on my face. Her voice trembled like music when she whispered, "I don't want to be just a memory in your life. I want to be your whole life." I told her, "You became that from the very first glance." She leaned closer, closer still, until our breaths mixed like prayer. Then she whispered, "Once you drink from my lips, you will never forget my taste." And I didn't wait for permission. I moved toward her slowly, as if time itself had stopped. When our lips finally met, it felt like I drank from a cup not made by human hands. After drinking from her lips, I could no longer tell if it was she who was drunk, or I. The world blurred, melted. Nothing existed but her heartbeat and the taste of her lips. When we pulled apart, she rested her head on my chest and whispered, "Now you understand why I'm afraid of promises. Everything that begins like this ends in pain." I said, "Then let's break that rule." But she smiled sadly and said, "I can't, I'm married. And you're the dream that came too late." Silence. A silence sharp enough to cut through my soul. I didn't know what to say. I just held her tighter, as if holding on could stop her from slipping away. The goodbye. The next night, she didn't come. Nor the one after that. On our table, the waiter handed me a dried rose. And a folded note in her handwriting. "You were the rain that revived me. But I cannot stay." From that day on, I never drank coffee in that cafe again. And I never looked at the rain the same way. Every woman after her was only her shadow. Every kiss after hers was tasteless. The last message. A year later, an email arrived from an unfamiliar address. There was only one line inside. "Do you still feel drunk from my kiss?" I replied, "I still am. For your lips were wine. And your memory became my blood." The end. They say love heals with time. But I've learned that some kisses never fade. And some women never truly leave, even after they're gone. After drinking from her lips,